Hey YouTube, Ahsoka and Mansa's babies have shed out. Let's take a look. Let's kick things off with this little one here. So this is AhsoSa23-1. This little ball python is a pewter, possibly a pewter belly. You can see some nice little donuts here on the sides. It's really cool how pewters, when they first hatch out, have this pewter look. That's probably where the name came from. I didn't research that to see, but it makes sense. They really have this pewter appearance, and then they start to get a little bit more brown with age. But he looks like dad. It looks like dad. Looks like grandma. Let's see if it'll let me look at the belly. Nice little headshot. Really good looking little one. The reason why I think there might be Yellowbelly in here is because of like the little speckling right in there. Camera's not picking it up as much, I think. So this is the first little baby, AhsoSa23-1. Okay, next up we have this little one. So this is AhsoSa23-2, and I think this little one, just realized I'm getting in the way of the light. This little one, camera's not picking it up as nicely as I would like. I'm trying to get the right angle, I guess, to see. Maybe that's it. But there's some flaming going on in here that has me wondering if this might be a ball python that has the Yellowbelly trait. It is definitely Enchi. It definitely has Enchi, like mom. Trying to get the best shots of these little ones. Get a little belly shot, but you can see the Enchi banding patterns. You can see the Enchi banding patterns there. And see that flaming, some nice flaming going on with this little one. So if it's not Yellowbelly, that'll be surprising, at least to me. Maybe others would disagree, but yeah, let's call this one an Enchi possible Yellowbelly. Keep in mind, and I didn't mention this with the first little one, but all the babies are going to be het albino, so they're going to be carriers of the albino trait because mom is an albino, and they could quite possibly be carriers of the clown trait because dad and mom are both, Mansa and Ahsoka are both carriers. So nice little Enchi, possibly Yellowbelly, het albino, possibly het clown. Let's move on to the next. Okay, next up we have AhsoSa23-3 3. And this is our first albino. We're gonna call this one an albino Enchi. Just a second. So we're gonna call this one an albino Enchi. And I think there might be cinnamon in this. The eye bands definitely say Enchi. The banding. What's nice about this, so this is obviously an albino. Some nice rich orange colors on the sides and some really well-defined whites where the blacks would normally be. I'm thinking this might have cinnamon in it, but it definitely has Enchi. So we'll call this an albino Enchi, possibly cinnamon. And it is, man, that yellow and that orange just really look good together. And I really like the way how the this yellow is outlined with the yellow there. This is really a good looking snake. I don't plan on holding these back. I don't plan on holding any of these back. But man, somebody's gonna get a good looking snake. Belly's pretty bare, or pretty bare, pretty blank. And this is AhsoSa23. That's nice right there too. A little orange sprinkling in there. It's a really good looking snake. But this is AhsoSa23-3. We're saying albino, Enchi, possibly cinnamon, possibly het clown, or possibly a carrier of the clown gene. All right, let's move on. Next up, we have, initially I called it an Enchi. It's definitely pastel. The more I look at it now, I don't think there's Enchi. But these flames in here, those are really, like in the blushing here. This is a pretty, like, let's look at the belly. Of course, this little guy's not gonna let me look at the belly, but this is it's a really nice looking ball python. Maybe it is Enchi, actually. Looks a little too busy to be Enchi. Of course, we could test it if we really wanted to be certain. I think I'm kind of just calling this a pastel for right now. Really cool looking pattern. Little more happening in the alien heads than its siblings. The two Enchi siblings, I mean, are, well, the two Enchi siblings that we've seen so far, the albino Enchi, and then the other Enchi that I suspect might be Yellowbelly as well. But yeah. Yeah. That yellow and that black though, man, that's just like, yeah, I'm thinking this is just a pastel, maybe pastel, not just the pastel, pastel, possibly Yellowbelly. Remember, it's going to be het for albino and possibly het for clown. But the flaming makes me think there might be some Yellowbelly happening there. This is really cool right here. Look at that flaming. It's happening right there. That is really something. The belly though is where I kind of wonder, maybe not, but so I'll say possibly Yellowbelly, definitely pastel, definitely het albino. All of them that aren't albino are going to be het albino, and possibly het clown. Nice looking little snake. On to the next. Next up we have AhsoSa23-5. This is the second albino, and as I look at this one, look at that. Look at that. Oh man, I don't think the camera is really picking this up the way, again, the etching of the orange is there, similar to its sibling, but there's some orange, you guys, that I'm seeing on these sides. It's not really cooperating, and I can't really catch it in the camera, but when you see it in person, oh my goodness. That is pretty. So these, not yellows, I'm sorry, in the whites, it's really hard. Oh, okay, there we go. Look at that. How that orange is in there, and it is just awesome. I don't even know if the camera is really catching this as much as I'm seeing this in person, but this is, look at his head. Man, this is, maybe this one is the one that's kind of cinnamon, and then the other one is just Enchi. It's definitely Enchi. That's a definite. It's definitely albino. Might be het clown. Both parents are carriers of the clown gene, so could have got a copy of the clown gene from either parent, or a copy of the clown gene from either parent. But oh my goodness, I'm having fun looking at this thing. This is, wow. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull out sibling just to do a comparison. On my left is AhsoSa23-5, and on my right is 23-3. So both are albino Enchis. And actually this one has that orange in the sides as well. It's just not as intense as the sibling. But yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. See, right there. So it's definitely there. Oops. Sorry about that, little one. Definitely there. Look at that. These are some nice looking snakes. I'm gonna call both of these Enchis possibly cinnamons for now. And perhaps someone will get really lucky and get an Enchi cinnamon. But let's put these two back. And last, but most certainly not least, AhsoSa23-6. This is the little runt of the clutch. Weighed in at the end of the day or I should say when I weighed it, I don't know the sex, I haven't sexed them yet, but came in at a whopping 33 grams. And I am pretty confident looking at those flames right there. Look at that. That is a Yellowbelly. Yep. Little one's kind of nervous. I'm gonna try and assuage its fears. I'll just be a little more patient. But look at that. How awesome is this snake? Look at those flames. That is definitely a Yellowbelly right there. It's a pretty snake. And it's worth noting that it is also het albino and possibly het clown. That's really cool. It does not want to be here with me right now. It is, which I can understand because it's so little. I mean, 33 grams, that's wild. But this is really a nice looking snake. Oh man, I just love those flames. Pretty cool. And that is AhsoSa23 6. So, what did you all think of that clutch? Pretty good looking, right? I am, with the exception of not getting a clown out of that clutch, I'm pretty happy with those results. I mean, it was a pretty diverse looking clutch. And so, got a little bit of everything except clown. But some really good looking babies. I don't know why I do this to myself, trying to wrangle 2 adult ball pythons. I thought these guys were supposed to be less active. Anywho, it's gonna be fun raising those babies up, getting them ready for their new homes, you know, socializing them and all that fun stuff, because they're really fun to look at. Next step, what we're going to do is offer some first meals, and that can usually be hit or miss with first meals. Sometimes it could be quite a bit of a challenge, but you know, that's what we'll do. And then I'm going to try and refrain from handling them too much until they have their first meal. I don't want to stress them out too much, but we'll do first meals, and then once they've had their first meals, I'll start amping up my handling sessions with them, and also giving them some time outside of their tubs, give them some enrichment time in the enrichment tubs, all that fun stuff to just really get them ready for human interaction. So that'll be a fun journey, and of course I'll keep you posted on how that's going. One quick housekeeping note, if you will. I'm gonna be moving my video premieres to Monday instead of Sunday. The semester is starting for me, and so during the semester things can get pretty busy, and I want to have Sunday as an extra day to kind of edit these videos. So videos moving forward are going to come out on Mondays instead of the Sundays that they have been coming out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hanging out with us, checking out these two beautiful babies. I know you got a lot of choices and things you can watch, and so I really do appreciate you taking your time out to watch my videos. I really enjoy making them. Hope you enjoy watching them, and have a great week. If you're a student or a professor or a teacher and you're starting your year off this week, have a good start of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Take care.